I got glare on my glasses.
Yeah, you do.
Oh god.
Can you even see?
I don't need to see.
Okay.
I am C. Things are hot right now.
With who? With what?
The Jews.
Let's talk about P. Diddy.
Oh man.
What do
P.
you what do
Diddy.
you know
Puff
about P.
Daddy.
Diddy?
Sean Combs. Sean John. Puff. Diddy. Gay? Gay Diddy? Abuser Diddy?
Rapist?
Rapist Diddy? P. Rapist?
So you were telling me something in the car not that long ago
You're gonna get me killed by Puff Daddy.
about these before the accusations came out. Can you give me like little
Little
snippets?
tidbits. Okay, so
What?
there's like rumors in the music industry that after you blow, like in hip hop specifically, after you like blow up to to a certain point, P Diddy reaches out to you.
Hmm.
He's trying to fuck. He wants
If
to do
you're a man or just both
probably both, but it seems like it's mostly
men?
men that are coming forward and saying like they've been
Do you think
invited to
it's
his weird parties and shit where he does weird like
do you think it's true that he did that to Will Smith?
what? I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Oh, I
The
heard
story unfolds.
I heard that he did that to Will Smith. And you know, remember Orlando Brown from That's So Raven?
Yeah, I remember Orlando Brown. Did he do something to Orlando Brown? Is that why he's all fucked up?
Yeah.
He's on drugs and shit?
Yeah, there's like ew, it was like a weird clip that I saw. It's like Orlando Brown was doing an interview and he's all fucked up on
He's like always
drugs.
fucked up.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad.
And there's like a clip where he's just like he says P. Diddy and he's like he says like whatever he did to him and stuff and he's like doing these weird like noises and like
What?
lip things with his mouth.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't even need to see it.
It's so gross. I'm just like, what the fuck happened to this guy?
He got touched by P. Diddy.
But this interview came out
Take that,
like
take
years
that, take
ago.
that.
Like years ago before anyone actually was aware of P. Diddy being all of
Being
this.
fucking monster.
Yeah. So now that it's like highlighted in the media, those interviews of Orlando Brown are coming up again
Yeah, I think
because
people
nobody
are
believed him.
people are like unsurfacing like all this such shit people have said about him.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's this old interview of him on Drink Champs
Mm-hmm.
where he's telling I forgot who the fuck he's telling. Fabulous? He's telling someone, one of those guys, one of those older rappers from like the late '90s, early 2000s. He's like, you and me never really party, daddy. We never party, daddy. And
Ew.
he's like, yeah, he's like, we partied. He's like, yeah, but why don't you want to party with me on your birthday, daddy? He's like, I like when you're scrambling and scraping, trying to get away. Some
Ew.
weird shit. He's on some weird shit.
Yeah, he's really sick. From what it sounds like Diddy may have went down on Orlando Brown.
You want to know what I heard?
What?
So supposedly, how this shit's always been kind of like
A thing?
a rumor, like
Yeah.
in music industry, Hollywood. Like at some point, you get to a point in your success in your career with with your path to success, and you get opportunities like doors. Like you're presented with options at some point,
Right.
and those options, are like either you get more famous by doing some fucked up shit, or you keep going, like your own pace and you take your own risk.
Hmm.
But you risk being like blacklisted by these people who want to take advantage of you. And so I've heard a lot of rumors saying that supposedly the person who originally did this to P. Diddy was Quincy Jones. And that Quincy Jones tried to do the same thing to Michael Jackson, to Stevie Wonder, to what's his name, to Tupac.
What's his name? Some guy named
What's
Tupac.
that guy's name? Uh, Tupac. Yeah, but you know for a fact, like he didn't do nothing to Biggie.
I
Maybe
don't
that's why he's
know.
cockeyed.
You don't really know. I mean,
He
there's
was like,
some lyrics that like Biggie said and
he
you're
says
like,
you look
"Huh?"
so good, I want to suck your daddy's dick. That's what he said.
He says some weird shit about like sucking dick and like
He says some weird shit. People are saying weird sus ass shit. Not that there's anything wrong with being gay, obviously not. But for
yeah.
some reason, it's like it's extra creepy when someone is presenting straight when they're
Yeah.
doing gay shit.
Mhm.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
It's just weird, right?
So so Quincy Jones
He's a supposedly
might be a
he's an
monster as
abuser, yeah.
well.
Like he produced and like elevated all these artists. And supposedly he asked Tupac to bone him in the butt. And Tupac was like, "Hell no. My mama." And
So
he
he's
tried to like call him out.
oh my
And people were
god,
like, "No, Tupac, you're tripping."
that's crazy.
What if P Diddy had Tupac shot?
Well, that's what everyone says.
Because this guy just took the fall recently, right?
Yeah,
He
like
admitted to killing Tupac, but he didn't do it on his own accord.
right. And obviously like people are so scared of Diddy that like because he pays people off, you know?
Yeah.
He'll threaten them and then pay them off like he
Supposedly he
did
touched Usher too.
like he
Usher,
I know
baby.
I
Ursha.
heard I heard that.
Ursha
I
Raymond.
also heard Usher might have done that to Justin Bieber.
Oh yeah, supposedly Usher did and P Diddy did that to Justin Bieber. That's why Justin Bieber's all fucked up and
Yeah, crazy. All these
Kobe's all eating his
boys.
food
I
outside.
hear him.
It's like eating scraps.
So, well, because Cassie, she got paid off like instantly,
Yeah, she got paid off a shitload of money to
like
stop talking about this shit.
13 million, I think.
And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know who the fuck Cassie is.
I remember that one song she came out with.
What song?
It's gonna be you and me. I don't know. I'm gonna get sued if I sing this song anyway.
We get copyright infringement on the video. I feel like also, like us talking about this, we're not black, and I feel like black people get pissed because you know how they say like, oh, this is what like the media and people do to tear down
Hmm.
black excellence and black people that are like successful.
Oh, like what we did to Bill
So
Cosby.
that
That was
Bill,
all
that's what it was
us.
all us. So we did it, Bill Cosby. That was
We tore him down.
it was everyone else. Um, yeah, we tore down all these great men. Yeah, I feel like they get like black community gets pissed when not all of them obviously. I feel like they're
Right.
split. It's a polarizing topic, right?
Right,
Especially
because it's a sensitive issue because it's like successful men, black men, and then it's like then their career just like gets tarnished and
it's like they kind of it's like it doesn't really obviously it doesn't matter what race you are. Like if you become successful and you're a man, I mean this happens with women. It's just that it's more recent with women. It's just historically been men in these positions of power in like entertainment. Like they get all this power and they take advantage of people sexually. And it's so
yeah,
weird because it's like the only way they can really get leverage over these people to like
especially in the entertainment industry.
yeah,
I feel like it's more common and I feel like back then when we were kids, like it was just like a free for all.
it was
Like
kind of hush hush too. Like
everyone was just like things were happening to people and we didn't know
you didn't
about
know
it.
about it, yeah, because there's no social media to
And there
like to
was no
report it.
like Me Too movement. There was no like, all these like allegations against these like powerful men and women.
Yeah,
So
there was like no
times are
accountability.
changing. Yeah. And it was just like, oh, just get over it. That's what happens,
It was basically like whatever the
And
media
also there
presents
was
to
just
you.
so much grooming. I mean, there kind of still is. It's a little more like low key,
It
but
has to be now, right? Because it'll
But
be
there was just
exposed.
so much grooming back then when we were younger. Like everyone was so sexualized and I mean everyone still is sexualized,
Yeah,
but
Nickelodeon.
it was just like weird. Like
Yeah,
weird things.
a lot of things were normalized that were pretty like abusive and a little
Yeah.
bit inappropriate, right?
Yeah.
So like you know, like P Diddy's always been famous for his parties. Like when
Mm-hmm.
we were growing up, they would do VH1, right?
Right.
And they would like talk about famous people's parties, you know.
Yeah.
And for years, people always talked about P Diddy's parties, and now like more shit's coming out about these parties that he has,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of like a joke too about Hollywood. Like if they invite you, you know, like if they invite you to one of those mansion parties, you know, you don't go. Like there's memes like, you know, when your homie goes to the mansion party, and it's like someone making like a weird face, like, what? It's full sus,
Yeah.
because they do weird shit there,
Yeah.
mainly gay shit.
Right. Or just like, I mean, that's why it was like a common thing, like people where like if you were on Epstein's fly list,
You're sus.
you're sus
Yeah,
because
you're are you a pedophile?
weird shit was going on in that island.
Weird shit.
So,
Shit that you like just the shit that we do know is already crazy. So imagine the things that we don't know.
I know.
That's fucking weird. And no one's talking about it. Is anyone ever gonna talk about the fucking flight logs? Like no one's gonna ever bring it up or talk about it. It just gets
It's like it's
hushed.
out there though. It's weird. Like
Yeah, but
all of it's out there.
it's out there, but no one there hasn't been like an official report.
Nobody
There
wants
no
to
one's
talk
like
about
no one
it.
wants to talk about like this person, all these people were involved in this bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like it kind of goes to show you like who's in power and what's happening, right?
Hmm.
Like they don't want to talk about this shit. Just like, you know, I don't know, I don't even want to talk about it. I was gonna talk about the war. I don't want to talk about the war. I don't want to talk about the war on drugs
Well,
happening right now.
yeah.
Just kidding.
Everyone's trying to throw mushrooms in your mouth.
Everyone's trying to everyone's like doing mushrooms, everyone's doing fucking combo, whatever the fuck they're doing. Like all these white people are just talking about like they want like a quick way to like I'm going on a tangent, but like white people just want to have like a quick. They don't want to do any work or any self reflection and have any accountability, so they turn to doing some like they want to appropriate like ritualistic and traditional rituals like
That were meant for healing
were meant for
purposes.
healing purposes and were meant for sacred ceremonial
Right.
purposes. They want to do shit like that to like have an immediate change in their life and to feel some sense of purpose. And like there's something to be said about that that so many of these people like are turning to this and obviously
I
it's
wouldn't
not
even
just
just say white
I was just
people.
going to
I
say
would say like a lot of people just in general need to be accountable for that because there's, I mean,
well, I was going to
have you
say what
ever, I know, I was just going to ask you something really quick though.
what
Have you ever seen like a cringe? I guess they would be whitewashed, like Latino, and they're like, or even just like whoever, it doesn't have to be Latino, and they're doing the same shit that you're saying,
yeah.
and you're kind of even more disappointed because they're a person of color.
Yeah, and you're like why are you going to some fucking white dude and in like his fucking house in the valley to go do ayahuasca like
Yeah,
what and they're like I just had a healing ceremony with a shaman.
yeah,
But I think the problem is that it's, you know, I mean, who appropriates fucking white people, right?
right.
So there, I think it's like the influence that these people have
Hmm.
on other people. It's like the same thing we're talking about with P Diddy, like
How are
in a
you translating
because
this
like with
together?
P Diddy, right? If you don't do some weird gay shit with him, you're not gonna get to where your dreams, you know, where your dreams are for yourself as an artist, right?
Hmm.
You're gonna be like fucking stuck at some point. You're gonna plateau because all these artists talk about they didn't go to his fucking mansion party, they didn't do some gay shit,
Right.
and they never had another hit again.
Oh,
And so that's
interesting.
why certain people stay away from other labels. You know, like they a lot of like 50 Cent is a huge. You know, like he's kind of outspoken about.
He has been very
He's
outspoken.
very outspoken because he got lucky with like a good camp of people with you know Dr. Dre and Eminem. But P Diddy kind of like has his hands in all this shit in the music industry, kind of just like in the South too, right?
Yeah.
Like with Birdman and the Young Money people, like how Birdman,
I
you
read
know, do that shit with
that
Lil Wayne.
I read that P. Diddy paid off Cassie so fast, and it's because he's scared that he's gonna make R. Kelly look like an altar boy. I read that somewhere.
Yeah, he is gonna make R. Kelly an altar
Which
boy
is really
because he's
bad.
like not only has he like probably done child abuse, but he's probably also been like a rapist. He's probably been like a physical abuser. He's probably murdered people.
Yeah.
You know, like there's this like
He's definitely murdered
there's
people.
he's definitely murdered people because like no
And
one
he's
wants to talk
definitely
about
raped
him.
people, yeah.
Like up until now in a way like victims have leverage over their abusers because you can speak up and there's like no way these people can get away with shit now unless you're like someone the government doesn't want.
Right.
If the government's working with you, then well, they're gonna get away. But I doubt the government's working with P Diddy. I don't know. Who knows? We never know.
You never know.
Did P Diddy go to Epstein's island?
I don't remember his name on that list.
What if P Diddy is Epstein? P
I don't
Diddy
know.
is Epstein. Is
Probably.
P Diddy Jewish?
Probably.
He's a black Jew.
What if P. Diddy's not even black?
He's Moroccan.
What if?
What if? What if? What if he killed Prince and Michael Jackson?
Oh my god.
I don't know. P Diddy, is he responsible for everyone's death? The downfall of humanity?
So anyway, that's a pretty crazy.
Wait, let me finish my analogy. Hold on, I was
Yeah,
going off. I was going off.
go.
Just like if you don't do some weird shit, did you hear that?
I did.
There's some weird shit going on the whole way. If you don't do some weird shit to like be accepted by P Diddy and his people, you like plateau and you have to kind of figure out your own path. And so in a lot of industries now, like it's mainly white people.
Mhm.
And so if you want to be like in a certain social circle, if you want to be like of a certain social status, the cliche thing to do is to like go where white people are, right? And do white
Mhm.
people shit.
Yeah.
So they like sensationalize and like appropriate things like ayahuasca ceremonies and yoga and thing like they love Eastern like medicine and shit that's not traditionally Western.
Right.
And they think that's like their way of like getting like a personality, you know? And so then people that are like whitewashed or people that don't want to like I don't even know what it is. It's like I don't know. I think people are ashamed of their culture and there's a lot of just like I don't understand when people our age don't want to be like part of their culture. I get when older people don't want to be part of it because they have a really bad experience with it. They experience probably a lot more discrimination, racism,
Mhm.
xenophobia, things that were like a little bit more oppressive than they are now for people in America, at least. I'm
Mhm.
talking about in America,
Right.
especially like in LA, like really liberal places. Like you see, like it's like mainly white people gentrifying these places, but then other people from other races and cultures want to move into these places and they want to dress the same, they want to act the same, they want to do the
Like the
same
white
shit.
people doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like if you don't do that, you're not accepted by them. The same way if you don't do some gay shit with P Diddy, you're not gonna have oh my god, oh
That was a good song.
oh.
You can't keep singing.
Oh yeah, my bad. We're gonna get. Good thing I'm out of key.
Because YouTube like goes over the video, it
I know
scans
it's gonna be
it.
like you. We found a shirt. Oh my god.
Yeah. Then they get sued.
Oh my god. You gotta sing like that.
No, you really can't just sing at
Oh,
all, I don't think.
good thing I don't know the lyrics.
Yeah, they'll think that was all the lyrics.
Damn,
Um,
we had canceled.
okay, so I see how you correlated both of
It's
those.
a reach, but
It is a reach.
it's a very dramatic analogy, but it's kind of like the same. It's like you're sacrificing your integrity and like your morals to be accepted by people who don't even care about you or know anything about you, and you know
Right,
they're trying to like commodify you and your traditions and your cultures.
right,
So when you're like not, you know, if you're Latino or you're black or you're Asian or you're Indian or you're any other culture, you know, like, and then you're like giving into that bullshit, you're allowing them to commodify you and like turn you into like a trend.
mm, interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. If you're white and you're listening, you should be aware of that shit.
Yeah, I think so.
And you should be aware of your white homies who do that shit too. And if you're guilty of it, it's okay. But, you know, be aware.
Yeah, and I think be more considerate.
Be more considerate. Be more like
Mindful.
mindful. Like, don't let your traditions and your culture die just because what? Like, honestly, like, what is it? What is it? Like,
What
what's cool?
what is cool?
Like, people want to be cool.
You know what's cool? I was thinking about it. Ray-Bans are really cool.
I mean, I have Ray-Bans.
Like the
So do
the
you.
the black Ray-Bans, like the sunglasses. Um, I think cigarettes are also still cool.
Cigarettes are still cool. People are quitting vapes to smoke cigarettes. What?
But it's also cool. I think like a basic white t-shirt is kind of
You know what's
cool.
cool? Is those panda black and white dunks. If you wear those, I have some homies who wear them. I'm sorry. You basic.
Hmm.
You you basic.
I mean, I think that's cool.
You
I think people who are just honestly themselves are kind of cool. Kind of.
oh, you're saying cool. Like I thought we were saying like a sarcastic cool.
Oh, no, I was serious.
Because now you're being serious. You started out with saying cigarettes are cool. You don't really think cigarettes are cool.
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
If I had strong lungs, I would smoke
really?
cigarettes. No, but
No,
there's just
but
something like visually, aesthetically cool about someone
smoking a cigarette
smoking. Yeah,
and just like standing outside and just being like,
yeah.
I'm mysterious.
Like I don't give a fuck. It gives off I don't give a fuck vibes,
Fuck life.
which
It
is
is
pretty
kind of like
cool.
fuck life, fuck the
It's
world,
pretty cool. And
fuck my
if you have
lungs.
sunglasses like Ray-Bans with your cigarettes,
Okay,
I
I
feel like
will
that's pretty cool. Would
scratch
I
the
smoke
dunks.
cigarettes? No, but
I've smoked a few cigarettes in my life. I felt pretty cool.
I have two, and I did feel cool.
And then you flick it like that.
Um, yeah, so you asked what is cool.
Cause I'm saying do like I want to know people's motivation behind like this like herd mentality. You know,
Hmm.
like what is propagating this fucking mentality? Is it like the incentive of like Instagram and social media clout? Is it like social status? Like, what exactly is driving people to do cringe shit? Because people just keep doing more and more cringe shit. And then there's the other side of people who are just saying it's cringe shit, like me. And
Yeah.
I feel like I'm equally as lame for being on that side.
Yeah.
So I don't
I
know. I
think
want to
so
know, like,
too.
what happened?
I said I think so too.
You're cringe. No, honestly, like sometimes it's
Sometimes I have to
painful.
call you out and be like, "Stop."
Sometimes it's painful to cringe at things.
Everything's yeah, you can't always be cringing at others. Like it's almost
I
like
cringe at myself.
I cringe at you
I
too.
cringe at you too.
I cringe at
I'm
myself
cringing
too.
right now.
I go, "Oh,
What's a
it's
cringe?
fine. I was
Let's
happy."
talk about cringe. What is cringe?
Define
What is
cringe.
cringe?
Cringe is like, oh, like
Is it a vibe? Is it a
that's
feeling?
cringe.
Is it a face? I thought cringe was like a facial expression, like the face you just did.
Yeah, that's cringe. Ew.
Is it a sustained emotion? Is it a sustained facial expression? Is it like a ooh, ooh,
Is there like full secondhand
ooh,
embarrassment in cringe, or is it just
ooh?
like slight secondhand embarrassment in cringe?
No,
Or are you just more disgusted and
see,
grossed
cringe
out?
is
Like,
like
ew.
definitely a level above the secondhand embarrassment, right?
Yeah.
It's like a visceral reaction, like your whole body you're having a physical reaction, and you're like feeling an emotional, like ugh, like your gut feeling of like this hurts to watch, to hear, to just
I
sense,
also think
perceive
people
this.
loosely use the word cringe.
Yeah, they definitely
Because,
do.
like, how you're trying to describe it, I mean, I definitely don't feel that way when I think of cringe things all the times, but
I was introduced to cringe by my friend who's now on
dead.
the East Coast, and he's living in a monastery.
Introduced to cringe?
Yeah, I remember we used to hang out like when I was like, I don't know, 22, 21, and he would always describe things as cringe, and I'd be like, "What do you mean cringe? Like, what do you mean that's cringe?" I got it. I understood what he was saying, but he would use it for everything.
Yeah.
And this guy was saying this before it was like a thing.
You know it's also cringe when people are always having to state that they knew about something before it was cool or before it was popular. It's like kind of cringe.
It's cringe that you interrupted my cringe story to talk about that.
They're like, I knew about this before it was even
I'm
cool
not
or
saying I knew about
popular.
this. I'm just saying that
I also used to like this before everyone jumped on the bandwagon.
you want me to
So
tell
I
you
feel
what it
like
is.
those people are also cringe. You know what I mean?
I think it's cringe how you interrupt your guests all the time. You're turning into a real Whitney Cummings, and I just want to say
I think it's
you two
cringe how
deserve each
you're a
other.
man and you're trying to tell me that I'm interrupting and you're out of line there.
Just because I'm a man, I
Yeah.
can't. I can't. I can't tell you you're interrupting people. All right, you heard it here, folks.
Like you're just a
I'm cringe.
man coming on this podcast, which I invited you. Thank you
I
for
mean,
being here.
you didn't invite me. Like we live here. You're like,
Shut up.
you're like, I invited you to home.
Thank you for being
You
home.
set up a camera in the middle of the living room. I was just already on the couch, and now I'm on the episode, and
Now we're here.
now we're here, and I'm
It's only going to
cringe.
be a short episode,
No,
so.
we're going 2 hours now.
No, I can't do
Special
it. I can't do
edition.
it.
Jesse's got his glasses off. Woo!
Jesse got the LASIK.
Jesse got the lace. I'm all cockeyed now. I'm like, guys, I got the glasses. I'm working a lot. I talk real funny now.
It's cringe. Yeah.
I can see it's so cringe, dude.
There's just, I mean, I've done so much cringe shit in my lifetime that
Me
I
too.
don't even want to talk about it.
We're not even trying to talk about your cringe shit. We're trying to talk about what cringe
Let's
means.
talk about my cringe shit. I'm just kidding.
I'm not even trying to talk about it, but let's talk about it.
Okay, go ahead. Continue.
Okay, so what is cringe? Like what? Here's my personal observation. This friend I'm talking about, he's a little weird. That's why he lives in a monastery now. You know what 4chan is? So 4chan is like, I don't want to say it's like the precursor to Reddit, but it's kind of like it was like another form of Reddit where you were like anonymous
Hmm.
and you can just post crazy shit. And people would just go in there and post really crazy shit.
Okay.
And so 4chan had like a whole culture of like weirdos.
Okay, so carry on.
And I was never a 4chan user, but I dated a girl who was a 4chan user and she was fucking weird. My homie was a 4chan user and he was definitely fucking weird. And he knew some other people that were like that. And that was like a word that was used on there a lot.
Cringe.
Was cringe. And like, have you heard of shit posting?
No.
So shit posting is like when you just post like memes that are just like the worst fucking meme ever. Not necessarily worse in terms of like comedic value, but worst in like just like really fucked up shit. Sometimes it's funny, but it's like I don't know, like when they
So
when they
is
make
that
Patrick,
cringe? Is that cringe or something?
when they make Patrick like it's like Patrick getting fucked. They've
Yeah.
been doing that a lot lately.
Hmm.
Like that's kind of like a form of shit posting,
Okay.
and that type of stuff kind of comes from like 4chan.
Okay. So that's cringe?
So these people invented cringe.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. I think they like not that they invented it, but they like used it as like a slang term, and they just kept saying it, and
Hmm.
it leaked into like the rest of the
That
internet.
might be a reach, but okay. You could go with that.
That's just my personal theory.
Yeah. But yeah, cringe is just, yeah, I don't know. Like, is there a proper definition? Is everyone just having their own version of cringe?
I think now
You know?
cringe is anything that's cliche, and the sad part about it is like life is slowly just becoming cliche because of social media.
Life is cringe.
Life is becoming cringe to people now because like if you do anything that other people are doing, it's cringe now. Like
Do you think like dying is cringe?
dying is cringe. It's so cringe to die. You're sick? Cringe.
Um,
Praying? Cringe. You're going to church? Cringe.
cringe. Gross.
You're not on OnlyFans? Cringe.
If you're on Instagram now, it's
It's cringe
cringe.
to
Yeah,
kids.
to
You're
kids.
not on TikTok? Cringe. You still use Snapchat? Cringe.
Snapchat.
Are you? Is that a Hotmail account? Cringe.
Oh my God. Hotmail.
AOL?
Good
Cringe.
times.
Yahoo? Cringe.
Yeah.
I think like even like you can't even like anything anymore. Like we saw a movie the other day, and the movie was
You
about
can't even like anything anymore.
you can't even like it anymore. It's cringe. Like we saw that movie the other day, and it was about what was it called? It was like the dude whose daughter died, and he's like all obsessed with like the simulation,
Oh, the mandala
the
effect.
mandala effect. Like the mandala effect is cringe now.
Why?
I don't know.
I thought it was cool.
Word just came in. Hello. It's
It's
cringe.
cringe.
It's
Okay.
cringe. Like if you
Interesting.
like, I feel cringe because like you know how many fucking dudes there are that look like me probably. They're like sitting
Word
down.
just came in. Are you saying it's cringe because I walked away and I said it's cringe and you're basic because you read all of those things in the movie?
We're gonna take an intermission. A cringe intermission.
Because in the movie, he was like researching all
Yeah, and
these
I was
things,
like, I
and
read that. I already saw that. I read
yeah,
that.
I looked that video up too,
I saw that up too.
just like him. And then I was like, yeah, you're
Yeah, I
basic.
saw it. Like, I just
You're a Reddit
I
guy.
like remembered myself like years ago watching this shit, like being all into
Before
mushrooms.
anyone thought it was cool, right?
No, not before anybody thought it was cool, but like we're fucking old, so like
Cringe.
I'm not gonna sit here and act like I didn't know shit
Cringe.
before it was popular. Like there was a whole bunch of people that were just weird and just dorky like me who like were into shit like that.
Cringe.
I'm cringe. I'm embracing it. But you know, like
You
embrace.
gotta embrace your
You just gotta
cringe.
fucking. I think embracing cringe is like the new Christianity, like new like evangelism. Like if you embrace your cringeness, like you're saved now. It's like your path to salvation. You
I
just
feel
have to
like I
embrace cringe.
embrace my cringe
You
by
definitely
by
don't.
even just doing this podcast because sometimes I watch this
And you feel
and
cringe.
then I'm like, oh, I'm so
I
cringe.
mean,
But it's like it is what it
the
is.
video component of it can be cringe, right? Because
Yeah.
you're like looking. I'm like that's why I have my glasses off. I don't even want to see myself. We just went to the
We just went
gym.
to the
We're all
gym, so we
sweaty.
look like
Like we look like
shit.
shit. Like I'm all dry and what? I mean, it's good. We're not
Cringe.
trying to attract anybody. We're already here together, so it's like
Yeah, we
you could
live
just look
together
at
and
us.
stuff.
But you know what I'm saying? Like that's why this one's not gonna get any views. You're just sitting here
I mean, I
cringe.
don't not like
Can't even see myself.
I don't want to look ugly because
You never look
I'm
ugly, babe.
paranoid.
You never look ugly. Is that cringe?
Oh, that's sweet. And that's cringe.
Shake on it.
Like that. I don't know. There it is. Okay.
Is it cringe to
That's
love?
cringe. It's cringe to be in love. Because
Everything's
nobody's in
cringe.
love anymore. Nobody wants to be in love anymore.
You know, they
Everyone
don't.
just wants to have
Yeah,
sex.
yeah. Well, who doesn't? But like,
No, I'm saying like let me finish
but
I talk slow.
you do. I'm sorry. It's cringe.
Everyone just wants to have sex, have one night stands, and not have it mean anything. And
Mm,
they want to have like no feelings attached to those one night stands.
what do you think that is?
I think people are hurt. A lot of people are just hurt, and I think
People? What type of people?
I think everyone is
Sure.
basically. Yeah.
Okay.
I think everyone's hurt. Like they all need like help. And basically people are just having sex with uggos to get
Uggos.
over other people.
What?
And they
The
realize
shade? Who are you
it
throwing
later
shade at?
on.
You're like shading someone.
No, it's not someone.
If you're listening and this applies to you,
Babe,
you best check in.
this is a common thing that happens. I always hear these stories from men and women that they had sex with someone they didn't care about and they make it sound cool and like,
Like they did it just to do it.
yeah. And it's like, it didn't mean anything.
I
She was
mean,
in love with me.
she
He
was
was
so in love with
obsessed with
me.
me.
I left
Like,
her. I left her crying on the doorstep.
yeah, like it's cool to hurt people and leave people hanging or
You
ghost
know what?
them
Have you
or
ever
like,
made someone cry because you were telling them like you're just sorry?
it's not gonna work out.
Yeah, that
I
shit is
have
that
made
shit is
people
cringe.
cry, and it actually makes me like not know what to do.
It's cringe.
I
You're like, I should have never got involved with this person. I
yeah,
didn't realize they're
like
like,
is he gonna be okay?
well, it's because like you do try to do stuff casually with people when you are like you go through a breakup and then you're just trying to be like single for a while,
Hmm.
and then you might fuck around with someone for a while, and like you both play it off like it's casual, and like you might actually be like casual about it, and then you gotta break it off, and then you see that this person's low key fucking nuts, and they're just kind of like obsessive, and they're just trying to hide it, and then you're
Yeah.
trying to break it off with them, and then they're just having like a panic attack,
Oh yeah.
and you're like, this is fucking cringe. Like, I can't wait to get out of this situation.
Yeah.
Like, I can't
I've
wait.
been in too many of those situations where it's like, oh my God, I just want to go home.
Yeah, you're like, what? Like, I was just trying to make some mistakes.
Like if you want to be cool, like that's fine. I just never want to date you again.
Yeah, it's cringe, huh?
Yeah, it's
Cringe is,
cringe.
it cringe.
It's also cringe to be friends with people you dated.
It's also that's fucking cringe. If you're friends with people, okay, first of all, if you're friends with someone that you've like fucked and you're in a relationship, that's fucking weird.
Yeah,
Even if you're not, let's scratch that. If you're just friends with people that you fucked in the past, like that's just weird as fuck because it's like it, and I know some people would be like, you're emotionally immature if you can't be friends with
right.
people. But in my opinion, it's the
True.
other way around. It's kind of like you're not mature enough to kind of set boundaries and break things off where they should be cut off and set the distance with that.
Hmm.
Like you're allowing like
Yeah, I
proximity.
think you can be civil with the person that
I'm not
you
saying you gotta
once
hate them.
dated, like,
Yeah,
just like, hey, what's up? Like, not like texting them, checking in on them.
that's
Like,
weird.
that's weird. Not hanging out as friends, going on lunch dates.
That's weird. And if you're a girl and you only kick it with dudes, and then like you don't want people to judge you for like like only kicking it with dudes, then don't fuck those dudes.
Yeah.
Same thing with guys. If you're a dude and you hang out with all these chicks and you don't want people to be like you're just like a fucking player, like dickhead, then don't fuck those chicks you hang out with all the time.
Yeah.
Like respect the sanctity of the friendship.
What if the guy is not fucking all the girls he's hanging out with then? Like, what if he's not even fucking them? Or what if the girl is not even fucking the guys that she's hanging out with? Like,
She's just hanging out with all these dudes. That's not. I don't think that's ever fucking happened in the history. I don't think there's ever been one girl who hangs out with a group of dudes and she doesn't fuck one of them at some point. That's never gonna happen.
I don't know.
Unless she's hanging with like the ugliest dudes on the planet, it's gonna happen at some point. I'm guaranteed. It'll happen. It always happens.
Just like a group of guys. Well, no, because there's some girls that are just like they're one of the bros.
That's not. There's no such thing.
There is such thing. I've seen it.
There's no such thing. You don't know the full story.
What if it's like a woman that's not as attractive and she looks like a tomboy?
Well, that's different. She's lesbian.
What if she's not lesbian?
Oh, you're saying she's.
What if she's like Leslie Jones,
Oh,
who's
well, I mean
she
that's
says
just
she's
kind of
not
sad, right?
lesbian?
Okay, I guess I need to trace back my steps. If you're like a moderately attractive woman and you hang out, if you're unattractive and you hang out with men, just keep hanging out with the boys. You're a homie. You're cool.
Just keep hanging out with the boys
You're
if
with
you
the
look
boys.
like the boys.
But if you're like moderately attractive and you know it, and you just like you're hanging out
You
with
got something going on for you, like
yeah, like and you're hanging out with all these dudes, like if you don't want people to judge you, then stop being a whore. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It applies both ways too, though.
it does, but
It
it's
does.
also like
It's just that it's more common that women get judged for it.
this will probably be for a different episode, but I want to dissect the word pick me, like a pick me girl.
What the hell? I
Yeah.
feel like we've had so many conversations
This
in
might
bed
not
about
be a
this shit.
good conversation for you since you're a man, but
Why?
I don't know. I
feel
just
like I'm.
feel like you wouldn't be able to relate to
What? How
that
would I not?
term.
It applies to men. It applies to
I
women
know,
that are
but
trying to be like that for men.
you wouldn't be able to relate to the experience of being a woman because
Like a woman
that
who is observing that.
that that term is used for more women than it
It's a
is for men.
derogatory term too, right?
Yeah. That women use on other women,
Another
which is
woman.
like terrible.
I want to be honest. My perspective on that term is that it's like another form of like woman's like oppression on each other.
Right? I think
Because
so
like
too.
I don't think a pick me girl is a real thing. I think there's definitely girls who definitely like there's a thing such as like there's liars.
Yes.
There's liars and tryhards,
Right.
and I
I
think
agree.
equally as much as there are pick me girls,
Peak me.
pick me girls. There's as many pick me girls as there are. There are pick me men. There's a lot
Yes.
of pick me men. Like there's
There
dudes that will
are.
be like, they'll see your story and they'll see a song that you posted and they'll like be like, I like this band. I love
Yeah.
this band. Like
Totally.
guys will do weird shit.
I
I
know.
know when I was in high school, I would do some real fucking lame shit because I just wanted to be cool with like a girl I was
Girl.
into.
Yeah.
So like, and girls do that shit too. They'll like pretend to like shit and then like do all this shit that they're like faking just to like be cool with a dude. So a dude will like be like, "Oh my god, you're just like my homies. I just want to bone you. I want to bone my homies." Like what? It's weird. Like why are you trying to build it? Like
Yeah.
not actually no. It's actually weirder of the dude that's like
That's
that's
like
you're like
into
into
his
your
homies.
bros. You're like I just want a girl. Like when guys are like, I just want a girl that'll play Call of Duty with me, drink beers with me, have an IPA, and just fucking rip the vape with me and watch baseball. Like you just
Yeah.
want to bone your
Your friend.
bros.
Yeah.
Like that's fucking weird, dude. Like if you want to be gay, then do it. We can accept you and love you.
Yeah. I definitely agree with you on the part where it's just like a word that women use to hurt each other. And
Hmm.
um I don't know. I think there are a lot of pick me guys as well
Yeah,
because I've come across those men and they're
equally
like,
amount.
yeah, they're like
There
pretending
might even
to
be
like
more.
something that I like and I'm like, I know
You
you
know, you
don't.
don't like that.
No, I
They're
know
like,
you don't.
I love, I love Malcolm Gladwell. I love The Secret, and I love, I've been manifesting, and I love tarot. I love tarot cards.
Tarot.
Tarot.
Are you just staring at all the things that we have on
Babe, I'm blind. I don't have my glasses on. You know I can't see shit.
the
I'm legally blind.
Um, that's funny. I always thought that was a good name for an actual movie.
Legally blind? It would be
Yeah.
called me. Fuck.
Um, so anyway,
I mean, there you have it. There it is. Pick me. It's
pick
cringe.
me. I can say that yes, I felt like I could see how maybe some of those characteristics did apply to me when I was younger as well, though. Because
You gotta
sometimes
be accountable.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
everyone should be accountable
Being a pick me right now for the
for YouTube.
YouTube.
But I got older and I was just like, no, I'm I'm kind of girly and I just don't want to be a guy. Like,
Yeah, when you were younger, you were definitely more like trying to play it off like you're not super girly.
yeah,
And like now that
I
I've been with
am
you for three
girly.
years, you're
And
fucking girly as hell. You're low key annoyingly girly about shit that like you play off like you're not.
I am girly
You're a
and
big fucking girl. You're a fucking woman.
yeah. So I think I just got older and I was like, I don't care. This is what I like. I don't give a fuck if I sound crazy, if I sound like, like an
I
annoying
sound
woman or
crazy.
something.
I don't care if I sound crazy because I'm just being a girl.
No, it's because like some guys will like clown on their friends or be like, "Oh, like you're whipped," or like, "Oh, you have to do that with your
Let's talk about
girlfriend."
that. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
Let's talk. Let's do it.
You're really excited.
If you're one of those dudes that hates on your homie for being whipped, oh my god.
I also think whipped is a word that men use to hurt other men.
It is. It's like a way of telling a man
You're not a man.
you're emasculating the
Yeah.
homie or another man. You're telling them like you don't do what you want, you do what your woman wants.
Right.
But okay, there's a limit where it's kind of like you are fucking whipped and you are not being your own person. I get that. When someone can't do anything and they like don't have any freedom because they're just like scared of their girlfriend, that's fucking weird, dude. Like that's not even called whip. That's called being in a fucking abusive one-sided relationship.
Mm.
But if you just like want to make your girl happy and be considerate and thoughtful, That's not being whipped. That's just being like in love and being a decent partner. And usually the same dudes that are saying that shit and criticizing, they are like the worst boyfriends. Like
True.
their girlfriends probably have they probably don't even have a girlfriend first of all. They're
Right.
probably fucking virgins. And if they're not, they have virgin tendencies because it's like
Or
no girl
they haven't had like a serious
they haven't had a
relationship.
serious relationship and it's like no girl wants to fuck you because you just like you think it's like not cool to be like a decent partner and like
Yeah, to
a
care
chill.
about your woman, your person,
Yeah,
your partner.
like I think a lot of like women don't do that to each other. They're not like I at least from the way I've observed, it seems like women kind of actually like support other women being like a good girlfriend, being like
Yeah.
you go girl, like oh look at you
Oh, he's
supporting him.
taking you out. Or like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, like you're doing things to your man, like well now
You're so
maybe
lucky you're doing things with your man.
yeah, like
Like,
maybe now it's like I don't know. Actually, let's scratch that completely because
I don't scratch that because that is
well, it's not
like,
the same thing. Because
okay,
if a woman were to be like, I can't go out because my man said this,
doesn't
you'd be
let
like, that's
me.
abusive. It would be more harsh on the man, the judgment, than it is on the woman when guys are telling a guy you're whipped.
Mm,
They're not like judging the woman; they're judging the guy.
right.
And when it's the other sex,
Well, it's
they're
also the
judging the
way
man.
that men and women, or certain type of men and women, are like wording
That's true.
this dialogue. Because men will say, "I can't go out because this and that," and then a woman will say, like, "Oh, he wants me to stay home with him because
Like he doesn't want
we
me to
haven't
go.
spent time together or something." Like they'll explain what is happening, but a guy is just like, "I can't go out."
I can't do this.
Like,
No,
and then
I
it
can't.
makes it seem like he's the victim of this like abusive woman that's not letting him go out.
That's true.
So I
I guess
think
that's true.
it's also how people are wording these things, and then it's easier to villainize the woman and be like, "Oh, she's keeping my homie captive." Like
Yeah,
it's just not letting him go out.
I think like both of those terms are like
But I also think men are just very selfish and they just hear what they want to hear, and then they want to like embarrass or emasculate their friend to be like try to convince them. It's like a form of peer pressure.
they just like want to spend more time with their homie. It's like you just want to spend more time with men.
Yeah, you may be gay,
Why do you want to spend more time with
which
men?
is fine,
Like
but admit
you've
it.
been hanging out for hours. You just want more time with men.
And then it's like, and men don't also see that like some of these women are actually really good for their friends, you know? They just, men are selfish. I think that's honestly really it.
Yeah, I mean,
Men are so selfish,
I've been,
including you.
including me. Oh
So
my god,
sometimes you can be selfish.
you too.
I know,
You
but
could actually be
I
pretty
have to put
selfish
my
too.
foot down, and that's a difference.
You have to put your foot down when you're being selfish
Yes, like the reason that I'm
on
being
your own
selfish,
selfish.
the reason I'm being selfish is because that's to put my foot down. Like it's setting a boundary
Mm.
because, or else you'll just like walk all over me.
What the hell?
Yeah.
That's cringe.
I
Sorry. Yeah, that's not true, guys. She could also be selfish too.
am selfish,
We can both be
but
selfish
men are
sometimes.
just very selfish in
I
general.
think it's unfair to sit here and both say like we're both selfish and provide justification. I think it's just more fair to say that in any relationship you're going to be selfish sometimes and you just got to check it. That's it. You just got to check it and
Sure,
communicate that with each other.
sure.
And sometimes you just do it on a podcast that, like one of the partners has and
Yeah, sometimes you just communicate through a podcast
sometimes
indirectly.
indirectly you just communicate and
And you're just like, you're sharing advice, but really.
and it's just really just it's advice to your partner and yourself.
um, we can end here.
You want to end here? How long has it been?
50 minutes.
50? What the hell? You're lying.
I swear. Look at. Oh,
I'm blind.
oh.
Why don't we just finish? There's 10 minutes left.
Okay. What else do you have to say?
Oh, okay, so let's talk about how everything is slowly coalescing into a cringe cake.
Sure. You
It,
really like to talk about
it's
cringe
like
today,
it's
babe.
curdling. It's all
I'm all
curdling.
for it.
It's just because like I felt cringe the other day watching that movie Mandela Effect because I'm like, this is just me. I just don't have a daughter that died. I'm just like I was just like a fucking weirdo for a while. But
Just like going into a dark hole. What do they call that?
like
The rabbit hole of
yeah, the rabbit hole
conspiracy
of
theories,
simulation stuff, which is
simulations.
like your first episode, right?
Yeah.
With me. And I just think that like things like that, like you can't like anything because now everything's cringe.
You can't like conspiracy
Like you
theories.
can't listen to Joe Rogan anymore.
You
You
definitely
you
can't.
can't listen to like certain comedians'
You can't
podcasts.
like brick walls.
You can't like brick walls in your studio. You, you can't like UFC. You can't like fucking jujitsu. You can't like
Ice baths.
You definitely can't like ice baths. You know, like you can't like fucking. You know, like anything you do is cringe now, basically.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting because either you embrace the level of cringiness, but it does. There's a steep slope. Like if you do embrace your cringiness and you just descend into like cringe hell,
Hmm.
like you just lose your humanity.
What is cringe hell?
Cringe hell is like when you don't have a personality anymore and you're just like a set of like habits and trends and just like opinions that are not even yours. You're just like the product of like social media. You're like the product of memes. You're a meme. You're a human meme. You're like a
Oh, I don't
walking
like
meme.
when people are memes. I
You're
don't
like a
like when
walking
people
meme.
talk to me like they're a meme.
It's weird. I know some people personally that sometimes come off meme-ish.
And I'm like, what? Like,
I'm
are
like scared
you
for
a
them.
robot? Do
Yeah,
you
like
not
who are
have a
you?
personality?
Why are you
Why are
so
you
flat?
talking to me like this?
You're like a soda that was left out for fucking months.
Well,
Opened.
this is my favorite conversation. What are some hot words lately?
What are some hot words
Or
lately?
phrases that
Anti-Semite.
meme people are
Oh,
saying?
uh, Zionist. People are saying Zionist. They're calling everyone Zionist now. Um, what are some mean things?
Meme.
Oh, meme. I mean, munch? No, I was kidding. I don't know. Honestly, I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie. I'm pretty disconnected from that.
those. No, you're
I
not.
don't know the.
You're like the first person that's not
I don't know
disconnected.
about the meme words. I don't know what they're saying.
Yeah, people are saying you're a munch.
I
So
saw
someone's
some.
having a conversation with you and they're like, man, you're a munch.
Yeah,
That's
munchy.
actually kind of funny.
You're munchy.
Or people will say like no cap.
Yeah, but no
No
cap's
cap,
kind of like
bro.
that's kind of like
Or they'll say like we'll just keep calling you bruh.
the little white kids are saying those things now, so that's how you know they're like played out.
No cap,
Yeah,
bruh.
bruh. Okay,
Everyone's saying
that
bruh.
shit's dated now.
No, it's not. I feel like
Bruh,
you're just
bruh's
saying that.
old. Bruh's a thing. You know what's coming up now? Pause.
Yes, babe. I'm nobody see this way I mean that you're not disconnected because you're just like so connected. It's like cringe.
I'm plugged in to the Matrix.
You're just like, bruh is old. No, everyone's still saying bruh, and like
Bruh.
there are people that
Bruh.
talk like they're memes and they're saying it like I'm watching a human meme.
What are some other meme words? What are people saying?
Anyway, continue with your cringe, your ball of cringe.
The ball of cringe? It's the cringe cake.
Whatever.
Your ball of cringe. Your cringe balls. Um,
Your cringe balls that I had to cover.
cover the nuts. They're cringe.
It
The male anatomy is cringe now.
is.
Yeah, everything is just cringe. Like it's cringe if you're like at the gym and you're like just at the gym, like
How is it
taping
cringe that
yourself.
you're at the? Oh, wow,
If you're
yeah,
like recording yourself at the gym, like that is cringe.
it is cringe.
But it's like there, like no one. Like first of all, why are you doing that? Like it's weird. Like
It is.
there's never a fucking. I'm just gonna say it. There's
What?
never like a disgusting fucking bitch on Instagram. Like no disrespect, with all due respect to the fucking women out there. I'm just saying. There's never like a disgusting woman at the gym videotaping herself fucking doing squats.
Hmm.
You don't see Leslie Jones doing squats.
You
on
think Leslie
Instagram.
Jones is
I'm just
disgusting? That's
saying. I
sad.
don't. You used her
No.
as an example earlier.
I said because she's one of the bros.
Okay, you don't see fucking. I mean, you probably might see Lizzo doing shit because she's just
Lizzo's
cringe.
not disgusting
But
though.
Lizzo, okay, first of all, it has just wait aside her face, all this, her vibe. It's a no for me, bro.
Okay, that's fine.
Anyways,
It's not your preference.
yeah, yeah, it's just cringe. Like you're never gonna see someone at the gym doing that who's like ugly and like unattractive. All right, end it here. Piss me off. This bullshit. You heard it here,
Okay,
guys.
we'll end it here. Thank you. Love you.
I don't.
You don't love me?
Not right now. Pissing me off.
Yeah.
All right, I love you.